Well, we're here in the home of Coach Mike and Rachel LeViere of the women's basketball team. Guys, thanks so much for opening up your home and giving us a chance to get to know you a little bit off the court.
Well, it's great to be here and looking forward to the conversation.
Now, you guys are probably the most unique in terms of coaching that we have here with the Bruins, in that both husband and wife are involved on the team as coaches and obviously as mentors, disciplers, that kind of thing. Take me back a little bit. When Coach, we'll start with you. When did coaching become, kind of a passion of yours, or you decided, hey, this is what I want to be when I grow up?
I grew up the son of a coach. My dad taught and coached at the public school. And so I grew up just loving sports and just thought that was life. I got to spend a lot of time around athletes growing up. When I went to college, I originally intended to be a high school teacher just like him, and while in college, figured out that teaching was secondary to coaching for me. I was really in love with the coaching side, the sports side, and so I had met my wife right before our senior year in high school. We actually went to kindergarten together, and then had separated, gone different ways, but met her again right before our senior year of high school, and we dated through college, got married in 1994, and finished my graduate work for a sport administration degree. And then from there, I had been doing some coaching and things, and so got hired on at Northland Baptist Bible College. And so when we went there, we were hired on as the women's basketball coach there, and that's how we started coaching together. I was a young man, relatively young at the time, and coaching a women's college team, and wanted my wife involved, and just felt that was a great way to do things. And so we got able to coach together for quite some time, and took some breaks in between here and there. I did coach high school guys for a while, but we're back here and loving it. It's a blessing to be able to work together.
Now, Rachel, you're on the bench as well with the team. What do you feel like in the coaching tandem? What do you feel like you bring to the bench and into the sport?
I'm the one that can whisper in his ear. Just little things. I don't do as much X's and O's. I can see more the behind the scenes stuff, or this isn't going well, maybe we should switch this up. That kind of thing is what I give him more so. A little bit of yelling, but I stay relatively quiet on the bench and just talk to him mainly. So
as you kind of elaborating on that, Coach, as all males aren't necessarily as in touch with emotions, feelings, some of these things, particularly with female athletes.
Right.
How are you able to be kind of the helpmate to Coach in terms of where he's weak, you're strong, where you're strong, where you're weak, he's strong?
He's good in that he's not a drama person. So if there is something going on, he can smooth it over. I just bring it to point of, this is going on, maybe we should deal with this. And then he does great knowing the balance of, let's bring this to a conversation, or let's just ignore this one. This isn't anything major. The girls can take care of this one. So that's probably more so what I do. But
now, Coach, in 2012, as you mentioned, you guys were up in West Virginia, and get the opportunity to come down. So just talk to me about that decision-making process, because here's an opportunity at Bob Jones. They just started intercollegiate athletics, uprooting your family, coming down to a culture that didn't exist in terms of intercollegiate. And what was that like, coming in with kind of a clean slate and a clean canvas?
Yeah, one of the things, I got a phone call from Coach Ring. Neil Ring called me and said, hey, I just was hired as the athletic director at Bob Jones University, and I'd like you to consider coming down and starting the women's basketball program. It's a unique opportunity to start a college program from scratch. Usually you take over a program, there's some history, and good or bad, and you have to deal with that history. Number two was just the reputation of Bob Jones University. We're very familiar with Bob Jones. We'd been on the youth staff at our church and brought a youth group down here years and years and years ago for Turkey Bowl and things like that. We've been on campus, several times, brought teams here for tournaments, but working here had never occurred to us, and so it took a while. We honestly had to pray, and we consulted a lot of people that we knew, some on staff here, some that are not, but just friends and godly people that we sought their counsel, and came for an interview, and just really felt the Lord saying, this is a great opportunity and just for you. And so we've been just blessed to be here. It's been a great time.
You guys have a lot of different hats that you wear, not only as coaches, but then also as mom and dad. Particularly with you guys being both involved with the team, I know that you guys are all about family, and I know that you take your kids and you really involve them with the team. Tell me about why you think that's important, that your kids are able to interact with the players and the players interact with you and your family.
Yeah, we want a family atmosphere, and we really feel like the team is going to function if they're function at their best when they're really bought in and feel like they are a valued member of a family. And with my wife and I both coaching, there is some time constraints, especially after school when most kids are home and mom and dad get home from work. We're going to practice, and so we're going to take them to practice. Sometimes they come and hang out at practice. Sometimes they travel with us to games. And on the flip side of that, the team comes over to our house. They're making cookies here. They'll come here and study. And so it's just like an extended family when the team comes on campus. The worst day of the year for us, sometimes we say, is the last day of the school year. When the college kids leave, it's like part of our family just left, and so we feel kind of desolate.
As you guys have come in and, like I said, established the culture, let's talk a little bit about your coaching philosophy, because I know you mentioned family is a big part of it. It is about X's and O's. It's about winning, but I know you're very important, or you're very much stressing the fact that it's about so much more than that. Can you talk a little bit about the outside of basketball? What are we trying to do with the female athletes that come in?
Yeah, and that ties back into the opportunity to coach here at Bob Jones University. We feel like the philosophy of the school fits with where we're at as coaches. Basketball game is a game, it's a tool, it's where God has placed and put us to use that to impact lives. And basketball is a great tool to be able to do that. And we feel there's both the opportunity to build life lessons into each one of us, as well as use the platform of basketball to show God's love to others. And I've heard a lot of coaches say this, but maybe 10% of the game is X's and O's, and so that leaves the other 90%. Well, that's really where we need to focus our time and effort, and a lot of people don't. They focus on the X's and O's, and they get caught up into the practicing of them more so than the team chemistry, the individual life lessons, and sports are just a great arena to learn those life lessons, to teach those life lessons, really to reveal what's inside of us sometimes, and then deal with it. Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not.
All right, I'm going to ask one final question here as kind of a two-part question for both of you guys. Coach, we'll start with you. If you look back on the tenure now, I mean, a short amount of time in our history, but as you have built the program to where it is now, what are you most proud of? And then Rachel, if you could answer, looking maybe ahead to the next 5, 6, 7 years, what is something that you hope the program will continue to be known for, and that we can continue to see in the future? So Coach, we'll start with you.
Well, really looking back, I think the foundation of the hard work, the effort, the using of basketball to build life lessons into our team members, into ourselves, I think that's the thing I'd say I'm most proud of, and I think and hope that that's continuing. The love, the balance, the commitment, the humility, integrity that we talk about on a daily basis almost with our team, those things are staying solid, and that's the foundation we want to keep building forward.
All right, Rachel, looking ahead, what can we continue to expect from the Bruins and as we look ahead to the future?
Well, definitely we're going to always give our best. I'm always excited to watch him coach. I just know he loves it. So it's one of those proud wife moments when I get to see him out there. He's always going to strive to get better. But that's not always the biggest goal. I think the most exciting to look forward is the relationships that continue, honestly. We love keeping in touch with the girls that have been on the team and have graduated. And then we get to find out that they got married and have children. And just to keep that relationship going, that's something I think that we can continue to always look forward to as the years go by. Even, when our children are moving on too, it's just we have those relationships that can continue. So
absolutely. Yeah, the Bruins basketball family continuing to grow and expand as we go years and years. Thank you guys so much for opening your home and giving us an opportunity to talk to you.